welcome to On the Mat with Lydia, that's me. And whatever has brought you to your yoga practice today, you are very welcome here. Today's practice is a creative Vinyasa flow that is really meant for those days when you just want to move your body. So you have this time on your mat to really be with yourself, to move in a way that feels good, and to explore some different kind of fun and funky variations of your yoga postures. So let's get on the mat. Let's begin in a comfortable seated position on your mat here, taking some time to readjust, wiggle around as needed. If you like to sit up on a prop, please feel free to find that here. And eventually finding that place where you can sit up tall, roll your shoulders back and down. And if it feels safe and comfortable for you, allow your eyes to close, or else find a soft gaze towards the floor in front of you. As always at the start of our yoga practice, giving yourself some time to drop in. Really feeling into the sensations of your body. Feeling the parts of you that are touching the floor underneath you. Feeling the air around you brushing against your skin. Feeling what it's like to inhabit this space that you're in today. Tuning into the flow of your breath. Noticing the movement of your inhales and exhales. And feeling this natural rhythm emerging through each round of breath. And feeling into your emotions. Acknowledging however you feel as you're arriving on your mat today. And knowing that you are welcome as you are, without any judgments or expectations. And finally, using these last few centering breaths here to find an intention for your practice today. Your intention can be a word or a phrase that feels really personal and powerful to you today. Something that can guide you through your practice behind every breath and behind every posture. And as you get clear on your intention, gather your palms together in front of your heart as if you're collecting that intention in your hands. And all together, let's begin our practice with a breath in. Big sigh out. If your eyes are closed, slowly flutter them open, readjust to the light in your space. Then transitioning slowly here, make your way onto hands and knees. Find all fours. And as you take this new shape, give yourself a few moments to wiggle around, maybe shaking the hips, rolling the head. Eventually settling into this place of stacking shoulders over wrists and hips over knees. And let's start with our cat-cow here. So as you inhale, drawing your shoulder blades together, arching your back for cow. As you exhale, rounding your spine, lifting your navel for cat. Again, inhale for cow, shoulder blades together. Exhale for cat, rounding your spine, shoulders apart. Let's keep this going with the pace of your breath here. Starting to really warm up your spine. Getting some energy moving and finding that beautiful bond between breath and body. As you finish one final round here, feeling this stretch through the entire torso. At the end of that exhale, you'll come back to your nice neutral spine, lengthening the crown of your head forward and tailbone back. Shifting your weight towards your right leg, let's keep the left knee bent as we lift the left leg up and start to make circles into the hip. So as you're moving through the left leg here, we're really warming up the hip joints. So you might notice there's a little snap, crackle, pop going on today. You might feel a little stiffness, or maybe your hips are really open and ready to go. Please switch directions, take a few circles the other way. Whatever the case may be for you, meeting yourself wherever you're at and allowing yourself to get curious about your body and these different sensations that you're experiencing. With your next inhale, lengthen that left leg back behind you. As you exhale, drop your left toes to the mat. Find a little stretch through your calf. Now shifting your weight over to your right hand, begin to drop your inner left heel down, sweep your left arm to the sky, and find this side plank position. Now for some, it might feel supportive to have the right leg just where it is. For others, it might feel better to turn the right toes behind you, create a little more of a kickstand. Wherever you are, navel is hugging in, hips are lifting up, chest is open. Now you have the option to hold here in your side plank. Beautiful place to be. If you'd like to add on, we're going to use the strength of the core to lift that left leg, just hovering a couple inches off the floor. Now taking your inhale here. As you exhale, bend left knee and elbow. See if you can tap them together. Then inhale, reach back out. Exhale, knee to elbow. Beautiful, 3 more. Waking up the core, moving with your breath, and really finding some balance here as well. See how this feels. All of this practice is about exploration, curiosity, and ultimately playfulness as you move. With your next inhale, reaching back out to your side plank. As you exhale, drop your foot, drop your hand, and turn back into your tabletop position. Now, if you need a moment off the wrist, feel free to sit back, roll out the wrist a little bit here. We're going to get right back on into it to take all of that on the other side. So from hands and knees, shifting weight to your left leg, right knee stays bent as we lift the right leg and circle through the hip. So making nice big circles with that right leg, all the while keeping belly button lifting up towards your spine and pressing some weight into that right hand. So making sure that we're not shifting or swaying side to side, but we're keeping things centered and strong. Please switch directions if you haven't already. Take a few circles the other way. Noticing here that this right hip most likely feels different than the left. That's totally fine. Find that awareness. Check in with your body. Next, inhale, reaching the right leg back behind you. As you exhale, lightly land your right toes. Check in with that calf stretch. Now, weight shifts over onto your left palm. Begin to drop your inner right heel as you rise your right arm towards the sky. Coming back in towards that side plank on the other side. Now again, that left leg can stay as it is, toes pointing towards the right foot. Or it might feel more supportive to turn the left toes behind you, create more of a kickstand. Option 1, you're staying right here in your beautiful side plank. Option 2, use the strength of the low belly to lift your right foot. Taking your inhale here, kicking that right heel back. Exhale, knee and elbow bend, trying to tap one another. Inhale, reach out long. Exhale, knee to elbow. 3 more times, you know what to do. Keeping that bottom arm strong. So that left hand is pressing you up and away from the mat. Beautiful. One more round. The next time that you inhale, finding your side plank. Exhale, right foot down, right hand down. This time as you recenter your hips, come into a plank. Stepping both feet back behind you, shoulders stacked over wrists. Your choice if you want to keep the knees lifted or drop them down to the mat. Wherever you are, long spine, navel hugging in and up. Let's take an inhale, rock your heart forward of your fingertips. As you exhale, elbows bend lower all the way to your stomach. Tops of your feet press into the floor. Bring your hands out to either side of you, clearing your yoga mat. Fingertips to the floor, elbows to the sky. Tenting your palms as if you're protecting a little cupcake underneath your hands. Now, your pelvis will press down. As you inhale, lift your heart up, drawing your shoulders and elbows back. Take another inhale here, lifting into your baby cobra. As you exhale, float your forehead back down. Again, inhale, lift your chest as your shoulders draw back. Exhale, float your forehead down. 3 more times, moving with your breath. Inhale to rise. Exhale to lower. Moving your spine like a wave on the ocean here, lifting up and floating back down. Legs are staying strong to support you. Now the next time that you inhale, lifting your chest up, please pause there. Imagine that you could hug your elbows back and in even more to find this lift coming from your upper back. Draw your belly button up towards your spine as you take another inhale here. Exhale, float your forehead to the mat. Well done. Bring your hands to either side of your chest. Now remember that kneeling plank position. We're going to inhale, press up to that kneeling plank. As you exhale, toes come together behind you. Sink your hips to your heels. Settle into your child's pose. Now, as you find your child's pose here, getting that really nice stretch for the back body. And knowing that at any point throughout this practice, your child's pose is always available to you, should you want to take it at any point throughout our flow. For now, let's stay for another breath in and breath out. Inhaling to rise up through all fours, tuck your toes behind you. Exhale, lift your hips up and back, come into downward facing dog. Allowing the knees to be soft, your heels to be lifted off the floor. We'll take a few breaths here to move into this shape. So you can play with bending one knee then the other, pedaling out your heels. You might see how it feels to shake your hips or take some circles with your body. Really, there's no right or wrong here. We're looking for exploration in the body. Remember, you're here to move, so allow yourself to do that. And that might mean that your body is craving some stillness and you plant your feet and hold. Your body is always telling you what it needs, so really tap in and listen to that. This is your practice, your time. Let's take another inhale here. And exhale. Inhale, bend your knees, gaze up towards your thumbs. As you exhale, take a nice slow walk to the top of your mat. Each step making a footprint in the mat until eventually your feet meet your hands, Uttanasana, forward fold. Keeping that soft bend in your knees, letting your upper body hang heavy. Maybe a gentle sway side to side here if that feels nice for your low back. And feeling that you can really root down through your feet here. So feeling your heels and your big toe mounds pushing down into the mat so that the rest of your body is really supported there by your feet. From there, bending your knees, sinking your tailbone towards the mat. Taking an inhale to slowly roll up to standing. Take it slow as you come up, rolling your shoulders back and down. Head comes to neutral, Tadasana, mountain pose. So standing here at the top of your mat, feet about underneath your hips, maybe slightly wider. Let's start to warm things up a little bit more with our sun salutations. As you inhale, sweep your arms to the sky. Exhale, fold forward, hinging from your hips. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthening your spine. Exhale, palms to the mat, step back into your plank. Knees lowered or lifted, that's your choice. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, elbows hug your sides, lower halfway down, chaturanga. Inhale, rise your heart for cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, lift your hips, find downward facing dog. Pausing here for a breath in and breath out. Inhale, bend your knees, gaze forward. Walk or take a big step to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale, root to rise, flat back as you reach up. Exhale, palms together in front of your heart. Let's do it again. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, fold forward, no rush. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step back into your plank. Take an inhale here, rock your heart forward. Exhale, lower halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog, lift your heart. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Stay for a breath in and breath out. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, walk, step, or lightly hop your feet to meet your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to standing. Exhale, hands to heart center. Moving into sun salutation B, feet hips width distance or big toes together, heels slightly apart. Inhale, arms up, hips back into chair pose. Exhale, fold over your legs, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, plant your palms, step to plank. Now take your inhale here. As you exhale, chaturanga or skip it, you can always just meet right back in downward facing dog. From your downward dog, inhale to step your right foot forward. Exhale, drop your back heel down, setting up for warrior one. Nice bend in the front knee as you inhale, rise up. Exhale, control your descent as hands come to the mat. Inhale, stepping back to plank, find your strength. Exhale, chaturanga or skip it, meeting back in downward facing dog. Using your inhale to step your left foot forward. Exhale, ground your right heel down, setting up for warrior one. Inhale, rise up tall. Exhale, hands come right back to the mat. Inhale, step to plank. Exhale, take your vinyasa or skip it, you know what to do. Meeting back in downward facing dog. Pausing this time for 3 rounds of breath in your down dog, or if you prefer, your child's pose. Reconnecting with that rhythm of your breath. Take another inhale here. And exhale. Inhale, bend your knees, gaze forward. Exhale, walk, step, or hop your feet to meet your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, soft knees as you fold. Bend your knees, sink your hips. Inhale, rise to chair. Exhale, push to standing, hands to heart. Tadasana, mountain pose. Keeping your feet set up for chair, whether that's hips width distance or big toes together. Let's take an inhale, rise your arms, sit your hips back. This time we're gonna hang out for a bit of time. So feel the energy of your hips here moving back and down as if you were actually about to sit into a chair. And then navel is hugging in, chest is lifting up, keeping that length through the spine. Now let's add a little bit of movement here. Find a bit of a flow. Your inhale is here in center, arms reaching up. As you exhale, sit your hips a little lower as you sweep your right arm back. Create a baby twist. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, left arm sweeps back. Follow your hand with your eyes. Inhale, sweep through center. Exhale, right arm sweeps back. Inhale, center. Exhale, left arm. Keep this going a few more rounds at your pace. This does not have to be a big movement. We're really getting into the shoulders, getting into the legs. Final round here, moving with your breath. With your next inhale, coming back through center. Exhale, fold forward, release towards the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, plant your palms, step back into downward facing dog. Movement or stillness here, whatever feels right to you, you get to choose. Then shifting your weight over into your right foot, take an inhale, sweep your left leg back, three-legged dog. As you exhale, bend your knee, open your hip, drawing your left heel in towards your right glute. Now notice if your weight has shifted, see if you can square off your shoulders, keeping that squeezing of the glute so that your left hip can find some space. Let's take another inhale here. As you exhale, shift your weight forward, knee to nose, stepping your left foot to the top of your mat. Back knee lightly lands, setting up for low lunge. Take your inhale to get you there, chest rising towards the sky. Now arms can stay reaching up or drop to your hips or drop to your thigh, whatever feels most natural for you. Feeling the energy of your hips moving down as your rib cage continues to get light, lifting up. Let's take a breath in here and breath out. One more inhale to reach up a little taller. As you exhale, fingertips float to the floor. Inhale, rock your hips back, begin to straighten your left leg. As you exhale, soften the left knee and fold over your thigh, hamstring stretch. Pausing here for a few breaths. Does not have to be a very deep forward fold, just getting into the sensation of this here. Let's take another breath in and breath out. Beautiful. Inhale, rocking forward, re-bend your knee. Pick up that back knee, finding this high crescent lunge setup. Plant through your right palm. Inhale, sweep your left arm up, create a twist, hugging your shoulder blades together on your back. Feel that spread of your collarbones as you spread your wings here. Take another inhale. Stay for the exhale. One more inhale here in your twist. Exhale, slowly unwind. Left hand finds the floor. As it plants down, step back to your plank. Take an inhale here. Exhale, take your vinyasa or skip it right back to downward facing dog. Listen to your body. You know what's best. Explore that movement or explore that stillness. Once you arrive in your downward facing dog, ground the left foot down. Inhale, sweep the right leg up. Exhale, bend your knee, open your hip, drawing right heel to left glute. Pushing down through that right palm to square off your shoulders and looking for length through the top of your right thigh. Take another inhale here. Exhale, shift your weight forward, drawing knee to nose. Land your right foot to the top of your mat. Back knee lowers down. Take an inhale for low lunge. Whatever arm variation feels best for your body, here's the perfect one for you. Just allowing the spine to lengthen as your rib cage lifts up and keeping some integrity in the core, navel drawing in towards your spine. Let's stay for another full breath in. Complete breath out. Beautiful. Inhale here. Exhale, fingertips float down, framing the right foot. Inhale, shifting your hips back. Begin to straighten your right leg. As you exhale, little bend in the right knee as you fold over your thigh. Dropping your head down, looking for sensation in the back of your right leg. We'll stay for a few breaths. And pushing down into that right heel, staying active through that right leg. You might even imagine that you could drag your right heel back towards you. See how that feels for your hamstring. Let's stay for another inhale. And exhale. Inhale, rebend your right knee, rocking forward. As you do so, pop the back knee up. Planting your left palm, take an inhale, sweep your right arm up, coming into a twist. Left hand pushing up away from the floor as you hug your shoulder blades together on your back. Taking your gaze wherever it feels comfortable for your neck. Take another inhale here. Stay for the exhale. One last inhale in your twist. Exhale, unwind. Right hand to the mat. Step back into your plank. Choose your own adventure here as you inhale in your plank. Exhale, chaturanga or skip it, meeting back in downward facing dog. Take a few breaths in your down dog once you get there, reminding yourself of that natural pace of your breath. No need to force anything, really moving into this place of flow. Weight shifts to your right foot. Inhale, sweep your left leg back, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend your knee, open your hip, drawing left heel to right glute. Option 1, stay right here in your three-legged dog. Option 2, follow me into wild thing. Slowly dropping your left toes back behind you as you shift weight to your right hand. Open your chest as you push your hips and heart towards the sky. Now that right hand is really pressing up and out of the floor, almost like our side plank earlier. Let's take another inhale wherever you are. Stay for the exhale. Now if you're in your three-legged dog, knee to nose, step to the top of your mat. If you're in wild thing, square off into your side plank, then lifting the left foot, draw left knee and left elbow together. Nice. Start to square off your hips and shoulders, stepping your left foot to the top of your mat and coming into a lunge. Nice job. Back knee is still lifted, pressing down to that back foot. Use your inhale to rise up, high crescent lunge. As you exhale, both knees bend, sink low. Inhale, rise, both legs straighten. Exhale, hinge from your hips and fold over your left thigh. Coming into your pyramid pose here. Now, hands can be on the floor. Maybe they're lifted on blocks. Maybe you bring your hands all the way up to your hips. No matter where you are, feel that you are supported enough that you can stay for a few more rounds of breath. So maybe that means that right foot steps a little closer. That's okay too. Now, in the spirit of our playful exploration here today, I'll offer you a little funky movement in our pyramid. So you have that option for stillness if you want it. Otherwise, we're going to start to bend the back knee, let the left toes lift. And then shifting forward again, straighten the back leg as the front toes drop. Again, bending the back knee, lift the toes. Then straightening that right leg, drop the foot. Do that a few more times, exploring this sensation in the back of your left leg as you shift through the right leg. Wherever you are, of course, keeping that steadiness of your breath. We're here for one more inhale and exhale. Inhale, little bend in your left knee as you find a halfway lift through your chest. Exhale, sink into your lunge, walking that right foot back. Pivot your inner right heel down, sitting up for warrior two in the legs. But as you inhale, sweep all the way up and back to reverse warrior. Stay for the exhale. Pushing through both feet as evenly as you can, finding that power in your legs. And that nice side bend in your upper body, reaching up and back. Let's stay for another inhale. As you exhale, move slowly as you bring your left arm all the way forward to your left thigh. Right arm sweeps overhead, side angle. Now moving through those poses, one breath, one movement, using your core to help you transition. Using your inhale, sweep your arms up and back, find reverse warrior. Exhale, make your way forward to side angle. Keep this going. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, coming forward. As you flow through the upper body, notice that your lower body is not changing. Your legs are staying strong so that your upper body is free to move and flow. The next time that you find your side angle, please stay there. Settle your right hand to your right hip. Lift your chest towards the sky. Let's take another inhale here. Stay for the exhale. Now, taking your gaze down towards your left pinky toe, reach your left hand towards that top left corner of your mat, maybe finding a prop here. Feeling this openness of your body as you shift your weight to your left foot, take an inhale, rise your right leg any amount, coming into your half moon balance. As best you can, stacking hips and shoulders, so feel this opening through your front body. And you can always bend that standing knee if you'd like. The real power is coming from your foot kicking down into the earth. Now for your last few rounds of breath here, maybe that right arm reaches up towards the sky, finding your wingspan. Staying steady in your breath, even though we're trying to hold still, make sure that your breath is moving. Let's take one more inhale here. As you exhale, right knee and right elbow come together. Start to square your hips and shoulders. Land your right foot next to your left. Fold down into your forward bend, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, plant your palms, step back into downward facing dog. Well done. Take a breath in here. And breath out. Let's take that to the other side. Weight shifts to your left foot. Inhale, sweep right leg back. Exhale, bend your knee, open your hip, right heel to left glute. Option 1, stay here. Option 2, take it into Wild Thing. Slowly dropping right toes back behind you as you shift your weight to your left hand. Push your hips to the sky as you draw your heart open and find your back bend. Really strong anchor through that left hand and left foot, keeping your core engaged even as you're opening your heart. Let's take another inhale here. Stay for the exhale. Now, if you're in that three-legged dog, knee to nose, step to the top of your mat. If you're in your Wild Thing, begin to square off your hips like side plank. Use your core as you lift your right foot, draw knee to elbow. Then turning to the top of your mat, place your right foot up as you square your hips and come into your lunge. Awesome job. Grounding through your feet, take an inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. As you exhale, bend both knees, get low. Inhale, stand tall, straightening both legs. Exhale, hinge from your hips, finding pyramid pose as you fold over the right thigh. Finding that placement of your hands on the mat, on blocks, on hips. And then taking your first few breaths here to readjust the legs as needed. Maybe stepping that back foot in a little bit, maybe taking the feet wider. And no matter what variation of this pose you choose today, we're looking for that sensation through the back line of the right leg. So check in for that. Now you have your option for stillness here, or if you want to play around, begin to bend into your left knee. Let the right toes lift. See how that feels for the leg. And then switch, pushing off the left foot, drop the right toes down. Again, bending the left knee, let the toes lift. Pushing through the left foot, right toes come down. And just keep that going a few more times. Seeing how this really changes the sensation for that right hamstring. And if you find a place that really feels like a nice stretch, you might pause there and take a few breaths. No matter where you are, one more inhale. And exhale completely. Inhale, think about your halfway lift as you rise your chest. Exhale, rebend your right knee, settling down into your lunge once more. Back heel pivots down, setting up for warrior 2. But as you inhale, sweep the arms all the way up and back for reverse warrior. Settling into that front knee, nice deep bend in the right leg, but pushing just as strong through that left foot. Let's take another inhale here. As you exhale, slow transition as right arm comes to right thigh, left arm sweeps overhead, side angle. Now transitioning one breath, one movement, keeping the legs and core strong. Take your inhale to sweep your arms up and back, reverse warrior. Exhale, make your way forward to side angle. Again, inhale, sweep up and back. Exhale, bring it forward. Take about 3 more rounds at your pace. Finding this really strong engagement in your legs that's allowing your upper body to move with freedom. So you might be feeling, especially that front leg is getting a little trembly. That's okay. That means that your muscles are working. The next time that you come forward to your side angle, please pause there. Left hand travels to your left hip. Take an inhale here, drawing your left shoulder back, open the heart. Exhale, navel to spine connection. Taking your gaze now down towards your right pinky toe. Reach your right hand towards that top right corner of your mat, maybe finding a prop. Shifting your weight into your right foot, take an inhale, fly that left leg into the air, coming into your half moon balance. Now, just like anything in our yoga practice, one side might feel easier than the other. So as you try and find your balance here, find grace with yourself too. Notice that this right leg might be a little bit easier to balance on, maybe a little more challenging. And whatever you find, there's a lesson there. There's a chance to be playful. As we stay for a few more rounds of breath, maybe that left arm lifts up, helping to open your chest. Finding that drishti, that gazing point to help keep you balanced, while your body finds steadiness and your breath keeps flowing. Now let's take another inhale here. As you exhale, bending left knee, left elbow, see if you can tap them together. Squaring off hips and shoulders, drop your left foot down next to your right. Fold forward, Uttanasana at the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, plant your palms, step back into downward facing dog. Well done. 5 rounds of breath here, either in your down dog or any other pose that feels restful for you. So maybe that's child's pose, maybe that's something else. Listening to your body, giving yourself exactly what you need in this moment. Slowly making your way back into downward facing dog if you're not already there. Not quite done with our movement yet today, but we're going to start to slow it down a little bit here. So shifting your weight to your right foot, take an inhale, sweep your left leg back. Exhale, shift your weight forward, knee to nose. Left foot lands in between your hands. Gently drop your back knee down, just passing through low lunge. As you heel toe your left foot over to the right side of your mat, letting your left knee open up into your pigeon pose. Now, before you start to fold forward here, we're really going to set up this pose. So first of all, if you arrive and your knee starts talking to you, you have the option to sit over onto your left hip and bend your right knee out to your side instead. Same shape with that front leg, same stretch going on for the hip, just a little less pressure into the knees. Now, if you feel okay taking that half pigeon with the right leg behind you, you might choose to slide some kind of prop underneath your left hip just to get a little bit more comfy cozy. Now, wherever you are, left shin is pushing down into the floor. Fingertips are on the mat, tenting your palms like you're protecting those cupcakes again. Use your inhale to draw your shoulders back, lift your heart high. As you exhale, bend your elbows, float your chest down over your left shin. Coming right back up on the inhale, waving through your spine. Exhale, floating down. 3 more times like this. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, chest to shin. Twice more, moving with your breath. Really feeling this through your spine and even down into your pelvis. Now the next time that you exhale and fold over your left shin will stay. So find whatever arm variation you'd like for today. Maybe that's up on your palms, maybe down on your forearms. There might be a block or a pillow involved here. And a really sweet variation that you might like to take is dropping your elbows down, cupping your hands, and holding your head. And wherever you choose to be, see that you can stay there for about 10 more rounds of breath, really allowing yourself to get into the sensations of that outer left hip. We've been doing a lot of poses today that require some work from the outer hip here. So hopefully it feels nice to kind of let that go and soften a little bit. I'll give you the last few rounds of breath here in silence so you can really start to take your attention inwards and listen to the cues that your body has to offer. Now with your next natural inhale, slowly walk your hands back towards you, lifting your chest tall. Making your way back into downward facing dog. Take your time to get there. Sending your left leg back to meet your right. And then maybe taking some movement once you get there. Chances are it'll feel good to move that left leg around a little bit. And when you're ready, we'll switch sides. Inhaling to sweep the right leg up and back. Exhale, shift your weight forward, step your right foot in between your hands. Back knee lowers down. Heel toe your right foot to the left side of your mat. Let your right knee open up, finding your pigeon. Now again, you have the beautiful option to sit over onto your right hip. Bend your left knee out to your side and take everything we're doing from here. Still squaring off the chest, still getting that stretch for the hip. If you feel comfy cozy with that left leg back behind you, relatively speaking at least, then you might choose to bring a prop again under that right hip. Wherever you are, fingertips to the floor, lifting your chest tall, draw your shoulders back with an inhale. As you exhale, floating your chest down over your right shin. With your breath, inhale, lifting back up. Exhale, floating down. 3 more times at your pace. Using that entire inhale to lift up, that full exhale to lower down. And the next time that you exhale, bowing over your right shin will stay. So choose your arm variation here. Palms, forearms, blocks, whatever you got. And know that the variation that you take on this side of the pose does not have to be the same one you took on the other side. Likely this right hip is feeling different than your left hip. So you might notice you want to go deeper or lift up a little higher. Remember, there's no right or wrong here. We're building this awareness of our bodies and using that to inform our practice, which is so beautiful. So as you find that sweet spot, I'll give you about 5 more rounds of breath in silence to really check in, go deep. With your next natural inhale, slowly come onto the palms, lift your chest tall. This time, all sitting over onto the right hip. Swing your left leg around in front of you until you can plant the soles of your feet on the floor, coming to seated. Now, if you're not already there, scoot your hips to about the midpoint of your mat. With feet planted, bring your hands to the backs of your thighs. Take an inhale to sit up tall one more time. As you exhale, slowly start to roll yourself down onto your back. Once you find that tipping point, bring your legs with you, hugging your knees to your chest as your head rests down onto the floor. Wrapping your hands behind your thighs or over your shins, give yourself a nice big hug here. Maybe even rocking side to side, getting a little massage for the sacrum. From here, slowly bringing the soles of your feet back to the floor. Setting up your feet right underneath your knees, or maybe slightly in front of the knees. Maybe the legs are slightly wider. Pushing down through your feet, arms by your sides. Take an inhale to rise your hips any amount for bridge pose. Now our intention here for our bridge is to find this back bend in the upper back. So really drawing your shoulders into the floor. Maybe grabbing the outer edges of your mat and pulling the mat apart to help you feel that lift of the chest. All the while your feet are pushing into the floor, keeping your hips lifted to create that bridge shape. Staying here for another breath in. As you exhale, slowly lower down to your mat. Take your time. Eventually feeling your low back settle once again onto the floor. Once you feel your hips meet the mat, reach your arms out to a T, palms face up, and heel toe your feet wide apart on your mat until your pinky toes feel the outer edges. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, drop both knees to the left side of your mat and find a little twist action going on here. So your right shoulder is staying grounded into the floor as your knees fall to the left. And now if your knees start talking to you here, then you can stack your legs instead, right leg on top of left. If you're feeling okay here and this actually feels nice for your hips, then you might stay with the legs staggered or even add on by bringing your left foot to the top of your right thigh and gently relaxing the legs down. And once you find your place in your twist, allowing your eyes to close or gaze to soften. And each time we do this, giving your body this cue to take your attention inwards and check in with your body, your breath, and your mind. Now, if you have your left foot on top of your right thigh, gently release it back to the earth. All together, we'll inhale to roll back to center, knees to the sky. Take your exhale to resettle your low back, plant through your feet, and bring your arms back by your sides. So as you replant the feet, bringing them once again underneath the knees or slightly in front of the knees, we'll take one more bridge pose for today. Pushing down through your feet, inhale to rise your hips, drawing your shoulders into the mat underneath you. And maybe if it feels all right for your shoulders, you can walk your hands underneath you, interlace your fingers right underneath your tailbone. No matter what variation you choose here, keep pushing through the feet. Feeling your legs so strong, supporting you here as you stretch through the front body. As best you can, keeping your knees parallel in line with your hips, so you can really feel that stretch. And let's take another inhale here. As you exhale, slowly rolling back down to the mat, no rush. Eventually feeling your tailbone once again settle onto the floor. Once you feel your hips settled onto the floor, reach your arms out to a T or a cactus shape with elbows bent. And heel toe your feet wide apart until your pinky toes feel the outer edges of your mat. Take an inhale here. Exhale, dropping your knees to the right side of your mat, creating your twist on the other side. Feeling your left shoulder settled into the mat as you create this gentle twist. And then choosing your leg variation here. So if your inner left knee is talking to you here, you might choose to stack left leg on top of right instead, finding a more traditional twist. If you feel all right with the legs staggered, you can stay just as you are. Or maybe add on, bringing right foot to the top of your left thigh and lengthening that left thigh forward and down. Wherever you choose to be, settling into stillness for a few more rounds of breath. Giving yourself the space to really feel into this experience of this pose. And if you have your right foot on top of your left leg, gently release your foot back to the floor. All together, let's inhale, come back through center, come back onto your back. And one leg at a time, stretch your legs out long on your mat. Bring your arms to rest by your sides. Moving into your Savasana, final resting pose. Allowing yourself to be in stillness for these last few minutes of your practice. Giving yourself the space to truly integrate everything that you've done on your mat today. And this is where I'll leave you until the next time that we meet on the mat. Namaste.